What's up guys, it's johtojonny and we are back today with more videoception. So we got real lucky because one of our fellow content creators managed to snag some footage of the demo. Our man, here is our guy in question right here. Oh, I'm so sorry, that is not a flattering, hold on. Okay, so here's our man in question and this is Austin John, so everybody give him a big thank you. Now, I don't know how accurate this is, but supposedly there was a rule that no one was supposed to be able to record their demo gameplay, and that's why we were only seeing gameplay from like the bigger gaming news outlets like Nintendo Life. Rumor has it that there was a way to record it, and I'm not going to say what that way was, but let's just say we figured it out. So thank you for doing the thing. Now, I have almost no doubt you guys have seen the footage by now, but I want to dive deeper into it because there's a lot of things that I'm still not seeing people talk about. I am going to be doing a full demo breakdown either later today or tomorrow because I've gathered a bunch of footage from all these different people who have recorded, and I've seen different things in each one. There's a lot of stuff people still aren't talking about. We do get a little glimmer of the title screen here. You can see the little green digital speckles in the back here. Looks pretty good, pretty ambient. All right, so the loading screen, look at that. So we know it's a loading screen because it got the turning Pokeball down here. And it comes with little hints of what you can do throughout the game. As far as I know, this is actually a first for mainline Pokemon, but I could be wrong. If someone wants to prove me wrong down in the comments, if you remember something that I don't, but either way, this is a cool little detail. All right, so we're in the Vert District. And if you guys remember in X and Y, there was the Verdant Street or Verdant Sector. But yeah, it says Vert Sector right here. So I assume this is a new take on Verdant Avenue and all of that. So that's the area we're in here when this footage starts. All right, so next he pulls up the map. And this is so important because a lot of us are wondering, like, is this map going to be big enough? And we saw, you know, you can kind of see the scale of where we're standing here, right? And then when he pulls it up, as we're about to see, you can kind of picture in your mind how big that area looked to us in real time and then how small it looks on the map. So maybe the map is nice and dense like we want. There's a little Pokeball symbol here. I wonder if that's a Pokemon Center, perhaps. And then these are gonna be the wild zones. So you're gonna see there's actually not that many. There's about 6, I believe, out of all of the zones that we see here. And here's the map, right? Okay, it's big, but it's not that big, if you ask my opinion. You can see that we can have a mission list here though, that's pretty cool. And then here's the hint for like your next objective up above that. So something you're gonna notice, watch this. He's gonna go over the wild zones and look at this. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 question marks on this wild zone. Okay, now you're gonna notice it's the same amount for each of them. And again, there's only 6 wild zones, and you're gonna see one of them is gonna have some Pokemon that have already been discovered, you know, by whatever this demo version's character was supposed to have discovered. Yeah, right here. So you see there's Weedle, there's Fletchling, there's Mareep. However, again, there's not that many. Okay, there's maybe 7 on this one, so maybe this will expand, but even then there's not that room for many more unless you'll... No, and you shouldn't be able to zoom down on it either because your reticle is here. So maximum of what, like 8 per wild zone, and there's only 6. 8 times 6 is 48. It's only 48 Pokemon included in the wild zones as far as we know, and that's like a maximum number as far as we can tell so far. And look, this says 42%, so like, yeah, this is almost all the Pokemon that are gonna be there. So what that tells me, guys, is that there's gonna be more to this map. Because if there's 48 Pokemon, and we know that Gen 6 has well over at least 100, but I think the Legends games are going for somewhere over 200 Pokemon. I think there's gonna be somewhere else on this map because I doubt that the rest of the Pokemon are gonna be filled up outside of the wild zones. And we know that catching Pokemon's not really a thing at nighttime. It's more of the Battle ZA Royale. So I think this might be our proof if we're really gonna go that deep. I think it might be proof that there is going to be something maybe underneath the map or somewhere else that we're able to go that has maybe biomes or something. You know, you notice all the Pokemon we've seen are they fit in pretty well to the city. So I wonder if the more extreme Pokemon that need more like temperate zones or something like that will be somewhere else. Now, the question of where else that could be is still up in the air, but this is such an important detail. Aha, look at that. Yeah, so these are the Pokemon centers. So I was right about that when I looked at that earlier. Okay, good to know. We're gonna continue forward. We can see that we're right next to Hotel Z where we were in that first shot. Oh, he showed us what that other thing was. Let's go back to that real quick. Okay, Gare de Lumios. I'm probably butchering that. The train station. Okay, that's the train station that we came in at, I assume. It was constructed as part of the urban redevelopment plan. It connects Lumio City to the airport. Are we gonna see the airport too? Ooh, that'd be interesting. All right, let's let him continue with what he's showing us. See, look, it's a similar amount of, oh, you see that? Actually, that one had 7 and this one had 6. So maybe that is the total number of Pokemon that are gonna be in the zone. So yeah, there has to be something more to this map, guys. I'm telling you now, you heard it here first. There's something more to this map. It's not just what we're seeing. So here he's gonna be counting how many sections he sees within the map, and he counts up to 10 sections. I think he's counting everything that's divided by even just a street or an avenue. Now here we get to see a completed checklist. They already did get your travel bag, escape from the battle zone, and a new life in Lumio City. Escape from the battle zone? So there might be a story beat, I wonder, because this is very early, where maybe we accidentally stay till nighttime and then like someone has to come swoop us away or something because they're like, oh, watch out, the trainers are dangerous. They're gonna come after you the moment they see you and you're not ready because you don't have a Pokemon. And maybe that's what actually takes you to get your Pokemon for this city, your starter Pokemon. So that's pretty interesting. Oh yeah, look, there's a description here too. Oh, something ran off with our bag? What was it? A Patrat? Is that what they said? No, Pancham. Interesting. Okay, so this is kind of story stuff, so I don't want to be spoiled on this too much, but I mean, it's the beginning, so it shouldn't be that big a deal. The city changes a lot when the sun goes down. Find your way out of this battle zone. Yeah, it looks like we accidentally stayed till nighttime, and we had to like run away. Like, that's a story beat. Let's see what this next one's gonna say. It's been one unexpected development after another, but your new life in Lumios is off to an exciting start. Have your new friend Urbane show you the ropes. Okay, so now we're gonna like explore during the daytime, I'm sure. And now it looks like our current quest is to battle in the ZA Royale. So I assume we got our starter now, and now we can go and battle in the Royale. Oh, you can put pins. Oh, okay. That's cool. All right. Oh, here's the menu. You got boxes. Oh, so we can, I think we can access our boxes possibly from the main menu, just like any modern Pokemon game. So it's not going to be like Legends where you have to go back to a campsite or something, right? Or a PC would be in this case. But just like any modern Pokemon game, because they have the modern technology in this time period for ZA. So that makes a lot of sense. Okay, we have 4 Pokemon here. We got the Satchel, the Pokedex, and there's a ZA Royale menu. Probably just shows you your progress and who you've battled. All right, so this looks pretty clean. This is a pretty clean menu. So the trainers you're gonna notice in these demo versions have their default names, which is Paxton and Harmony. It looks like Austin John is playing as Harmony. I don't know if he chose that or if it's just like it happens to be the TV that he got. All right, you can see their moves. Nice. All right. This is stuff that I would dive more into when I actually have the game for myself. So I don't really want to analyze it too much right now. Now, you'll notice that held items are returning. It is confirmed by people who have played the demo that, you know, how this works. And I'll show you guys footage of how it works tomorrow. Okay, so the guy's telling him to like get out of the menu and keep going. Oh, that's so funny. He said, sure. I'm dying. Okay. All right, we get this nice aerial shot. The map looks pretty good from here. You know, you can see these zones. Weird, there were some green zones still and some red zones. Did you guys notice that? I wonder why. See, we got the green and the red. It's a little odd. I thought that it was all the green turns to red at night. Like the battle zones turn into the Royale zones. Maybe that's not the case. Maybe this will be a few more of the Pokemon, you know? I still don't think it's going to cover all of them, so I do still think there's going to be more to the map, but it could cover more of them. And you know, we already know that we are going to be able to catch Pokemon outside of the battle zones too, at least like a little bit, but I doubt that that's all going to cover the sheer number of Pokemon we still have outside of that 48 that we've already calculated. And that 48 was a maximum. If we go by how much was actually on there, it's more like somewhere between 30 to 40. All right, so now we're seeing the map at nighttime, and it goes with that aesthetic that we saw from the original teaser trailer. I just realized this like blue and neon blue color. So you're gonna see here, look, the wild zones now, they no longer show any wild Pokemon. So yes, wild Pokemon are gonna not be a thing in the zones at nighttime. So yeah, there's still so many Pokemon unaccounted for. There are many twists and turns here, meaning plenty of blind corners. Take care not to give away your location. All right, so you can see here the battle zone. It's very narrow. And they say here, you know, twists and turns, so that makes sense. And we're not too far from Hotel Z, so this is going to be the first battle zone for sure. All right, and watch, we're going to see him turn here. He's going to turn. All right, you know what? Was not the worst thing in the world, but it ain't no Switch 2 quality turning animation, that's for sure. Why do they turn and then move? That is the thing that gets me. Like, you can turn and start moving that way at the same time, and most other developers would program their character to move this foot back towards here and start running immediately. But instead they turn and then they start running. It's kind of awkward. It's a Game Freak thing. I know Game Freak's not the only one that does it, but out of like the AAA developers, it's a Game Freak thing. All right, so the dodge roll. Here's something huge to me. This is one of the things I'm most excited for. We got a roadblock here, right? And you can target these. And you can just throw out your Pokemon and you can choose a move to use against it. Watch, he's gonna try it. Because our man's here that's playing the game is actually competent and smart and wants to make sure that we test things out along the way rather than just doing the same funneling that every other person playing the demo is gonna do, right? So he throws out this Chikorita. And you know what? Grass type is super effective against rock, right? So you think that would work. And we saw, we're gonna see in another footage that I'm gonna talk about in the breakdown, you know, something else didn't work here either. So leafage doesn't work against the rock either. Can't break these yet. And I love this. This is traditional 3D game design, going as far back as the Nintendo 64, where you have an obstacle and you're like, oh, let me see if I can deal with that now. And then you can't, and you're like, oh, maybe later I'll have something that can take care of that, right? I love that so much. That's one of my favorite things from 3D gaming. I know it's like a simple thing, but it's so effective and so satisfying. And I can almost guarantee you that what we need to break this is a fighting type move. I hope so, because then it's kind of like a puzzle. Or you might need a level 2 or stronger Pokemon in general. Maybe like their level has to be over level 8 or something, because this Chikorita is level 8. Maybe it has to be like level 30 or above or something. I hope that's not the case. I'm really hoping it's the former. I'm hoping that you need a fighting type move to do it, or maybe a specific fighting type move. You know, this is kind of like an HM replacement type thing, but done well in a good way. I would love that, you know. Okay, so maybe not the specific move then, but any fighting type move should be able to do it if they designed this game well. Oh, interesting. We summoned our Chikorita from further back to go closer. Watch here. It's gonna attack. It's gonna walk back, and I think it's gonna like summon him back forward. Yeah, look at that. Okay. So if your Pokemon's too far and you need them to do something, or maybe if there's like an obstacle in the way, they'll just like warp over and do whatever you need them to do. Yeah, okay, and here's the guy telling him what to do again. He's telling us and John to go through the door. Oh, that's so funny. All right, something else I'm going to be talking about in the breakdown tomorrow is these items. There's something up with them. Let's see if you guys can catch it before I talk about it in my breakdown tomorrow. But what did we notice about this item on the ground? This tiny mushroom. What did we notice about this? There's something important there. All right, so here, watch this. She spots us, right? She throws out her Bellsprout, and her Bellsprout immediately gets a move in. and it buffs 2 of its stats. Now, these are stat buffs and nerfs that you can see here. These are the red arrows pointing up means they're buffed, and if they were blue arrows pointing down, that means they're nerfed. You know, from some sort of status move like Tail Whip or something, right? One gripe I do have with this is that we don't know which stats are which. You're gonna have to memorize it. I think that's a little weird. It shows us right here, but you know, this is gonna last longer than these little side things will. So I kind of wish, I don't know, there could have been something different here. Maybe each stat has a different symbol or something. And right away, you're gonna notice Austin John is pretty good at games because he's not overwhelmed by this new battle system at all. He immediately still thought, let me switch out my Pokemon for this fight, and he put the flying type out. And watch, he's gonna make use of both his debuffing moves and his attack moves, and it's gonna work. It works really well. Look, now one of the stats is nerfed, and they're buffing themselves again, but it's not gonna matter because Austin John's gonna make quick work of them. Right about here, yep. And then there's a little flash screen when they get got. And I really like that as well. I really like that little, it adds more dynamicism to the scene because for the most part, it's not that dynamic of gameplay to watch as you play it, you know? The camera's not doing anything impressive per se. It's constantly pulled out. Oh, another thing that I really like. Watch, we're talking to her, but our Pokemon is still moving around. Watch, it even flies up to us in the little, you know, like kind of cutscene. I love that too because it makes your Pokemon still feel like they're there on the journey with you. In any previous Pokemon game would have made them get forced back into their Pokeball. So I'm really, really glad that they didn't program it that way in this game. All right, so something interesting here is Austin John accidentally presses a button. Oh yes, right here, the plus button, I think that is. Yeah, and it asks you, would you like to give up half your prize medals and forfeit the match? And he almost pressed, yeah. He almost pressed, I know he did. I know he almost pressed yes, because I know that if it were me, I would have accidentally almost pressed yes too. I don't like that it's the plus button, right? Like you should be able to pause, you would think, right? During the match. Unless I saw that symbol wrong, it's kind of small. I can't zoom in right now while I record this. All right, so this is something I hope is not in the main game. Because you come over to this pretty open grass patch and then the game is like, oh, you're not going to get any points that way, so don't go that way. And there's an invisible wall there. And then you can't go this way either. It's going to stop you. Oh, that's cute. You could talk to the Pokemon. Oh, you can walk away while you're talking to it. That's interesting. So the game is really funneling you, as expected from a Game Freak game, I suppose. And I think it's because he walked out of the zone. That's why. Something else you notice is that the music changed between when he goes out of the zone and back into it. Yep, different music. That's cool. I like that. It's dynamic. I hope we see a lot of that within this game because it's all in a city, right? So you need to have ways to differentiate how different spots feel so that everything doesn't feel too samey. All right, so now they moved him over to the other setup where they do a different part of the game. So we're going to watch that. Oh, this guy says something funny. Hold on.
Well, I have a feeling you're going to know how to do this, but if you have any questions about how this runs or any questions about what you're going to be doing, let me know.
He said, well, I have a feeling you're going to know how to do this after he said, I'm Austin John. I'm dying. That is so funny. Because Austin John, he's a big YouTuber. Like, I've seen his videos for years now. Yeah, has over 2 million subscribers. That's kind of crazy. I can't even imagine. All right, see, here's another little tip for playing the game. Occasionally a bonus card will be special, providing an easy windfall. Oh, look for cards with shining point numbers. Okay, I wonder if this is the difference between those blue and gold ones that we saw in those screenshots that I talked about in my video the other day. Could be. Either way, we're gonna start right here. You know, see, we're following Zygarde for something. There's some stands over here with an NPC. You can see the map up here, okay? We're still in the Vert District. So we're following him. There's the items again. Oh, it got mad at us for picking up an item. That's crazy. Oh, there's a Pokeball on the ground too. Oh, you can't see it because I'm in the frame. Let me take myself out so you guys can see that. Webcam. I'm gonna shut you off for a sec. I'm gonna have to back it up a little bit. Right around here. Yeah, there we go. Saw that Pokeball. There you go. All right, I'm coming back. I'm coming back. And I'm here. Hello. Okay, so this is interesting. Even the canals have names. So they're really naming like every landmark, and I like that. That's how it should be, you know. That's very Zelda Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom as well, so I'm happy about that. Oh, Zygarde just ran into the fence. Did anyone else see that? Hold on. We're gonna show that again. He ran into the fence. Sir, you're supposed to be showing us where to go. Are we supposed to run into the fence too? All right, he's going forward. All right, so Austin John, again, he knows what he's doing. He is good at games, and he knows to check these things as they come, and I have not seen other people playing the demo do this. So he's going to destroy this, and he's going to give us a better example of how this is done. You know, you just send them out, choose a move, and it breaks it. Again, here's a green zone, even at nighttime. It's so interesting to me. Like, can we not go in? I wonder if we can. And we're going to break this one as well. This is also something I didn't realize until just now. We entered a different district when we came this way. And then you can see the district name and then the sector 12. So I thought there was 10 sectors after what Austin John had counted earlier, but maybe not. We're going to see him do an easier to follow example up here of breaking this. Oh, but I think that Chikorita is going to get caught up on something. Like, Chikorita's doing something behind us. He didn't turn the camera around, so we don't know what. But I think they go out of their way for items, is what the guy explains. All right, and then you see him break that in slower motion than he did the first time. All right, something here. Look at all these things on the walls. Why are they on the walls? And even over here, over the water, like, these are definitely going to be harder to get than the ones on the ground. So I wonder, you're going to either need a flying type Pokemon maybe, or a ranged move that goes up. Because I don't know if Chikorita's Razor Leaf is going to angle up if they programmed it to be able to angle upward like that for it. Austin John did not try to do that. He probably didn't notice it, honestly, which is fair. The guy's talking to him and trying to funnel him forward. Like, they do not want us looking around at all in this demo, and it shows. So we're gonna see a classic Game Freak transition here where they don't actually animate the Zygarde carrying us up to the roof. However, what's funny is later on in this video, we are gonna see them animate something else that's not too different from this. And I don't know why they didn't animate this one, but they animated the other one. But I'm glad they animated the other one because it looks good. And you'll see what I'm talking about when we get to it. It did look genuinely good when they end up showing it. Oh, but you're about to see something funny here too. Watch this, watch it. The way he runs is so funny to me. All right, we're going to see it sooner rather than later. Here's the thing that they did animate that's not too different from what Zygarde was supposed to have done with us. Here's Lucario. Keep an eye on Lucario. All right, he's going to get through the text. And then bam. And then he lands too. Like, that looked good. So I'm just confused. I'm just confused why they didn't have Zygarde carrying us be animated. That's really weird to me. Okay, so here it's clear to me that the guy had walked away. At least for a little bit, and stopped like trying to funnel Austin John forward. So he goes into the menu to see what we can look at. So we can see all our different menu options, and he lists them off. You know, you have Pokeballs, berries, other items, TMs, treasures, and key items. So what is the difference between treasures and key items? Let's see. Treasures. Oh, so things you can sell for money. Okay, so everything you can sell for money is going to be on this page. Got it. And a key for room 202 at Hotel Z. So I assume that's just our room at Hotel Z. I still want to see if anyone... I don't know if anyone playing these demos can even test this, but I want to see if we can take our Pokemon out indoors. Like, if we're in our room, can we just like chill with our Pokemon in our room? Like, we should be able to. I really need to know. And I really think we need to be able to. All right, so here we see that we get an Absolite for beating the Absol, and Austin John asks the man manning the station, if every time we beat a rogue mega, we get their mega stone, you know, that's specific to that Pokemon. And he said yes. They're like boss battles, so you get those every time you beat them, but it's not the only way that you can get them. You can get them from stores and apparently other methods. And we don't know what the other methods are. We do know about the stores already from screenshots and previous trailers, and with, you know, getting mega shards and trading them in. But what other methods there could be? Very curious. All right, and then Austin kind of runs out of time here, but you get it. We actually get to have this Absol on our team after beating it. And AZ explains that it's grateful for us freeing it from its torment, and also it's like destiny that your paths have crossed and blah, blah, blah. So I assume we have the choice to take up the Absol. Like, we don't have to necessarily, maybe, but I don't see why not. I mean, it's a story beat, so it has memorabilia to it. And I didn't want to bore you guys with treading over all the same territory that you would have seen in the demos anyways, because I'm sure you've seen the footage, but this was stuff that I noticed that you might not have been paying attention to, and there is more coming in my video tomorrow, so please comment below if you noticed anything that I didn't, and afterwards check out more of my videos like this one here, where I talk about some hidden screenshots that were region locked on the Pokemon Legends EA website. The links are in front of you and in the pinned comment. And if you like what I do, want to support me, and even have your name featured at the end of all of my videos, then please join my Patreon with the link in front of you or in the description. I've been johtojonny, and I'll catch you all there.